Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am sitting in front of the gym this morning waiting for it to open, and I'm going to start the next video today, part 3 in our food as medicine. I apologize, it's like 5:15 in the morning, so it is a little dark. Today we are talking about building muscle after age 40, specifically for men. And what I want to do today is take you through how do we maintain, how can we build over 40, and what are our essential ingredients, if you will, that we need to make sure we are taking into our body, both nutrition and supplement wise, to make sure we're not losing any muscle, keeping our testosterone at healthy levels, and being able to pack on some new muscle growth. Alright, so I'm finished working out and heading back and just kind of thinking about the intro again. And really what I want to do is first understand the importance of what happens as we age, especially over 40 for males. And you know, in any given time, physiologically, natural testosterone in males after we hit age 40 are going to decline. The problem is with fake foods today, hormone disruptors in everyday life for products that we use, more stress on the human body than ever before in human history. We now have studies showcasing that not only do we have natural declines after 40, we're actually recording the lowest testosterone that has ever been found in the male species. And so it's extremely important to understand that we're talking about energy levels, we're talking about not necessarily muscle growth even, but stability and not losing muscle tissue as we age. And that is going to require healthy levels of testosterone. And healthy levels of testosterone have to come from both foods we eat, energy levels that we exert, as well as supplements that we have to take in. And that's where I want to start next, are a few key supplements. How do you get them? What roles do they play when it comes to helping boost testosterone levels? And remember here, we're also talking about normal physiology, which means we have to incorporate other things when we're looking at testosterone, specifically precursors and other hormone levels like thyroid and blood chemistries, when learning that we have to try to almost stimulate a little more testosterone rather than just hoping it's going to be produced by exerting energy through exercise. So the first kind of no-duh thing that I'm going to mention is protein powder, because protein powder, if you find the right protein powder, has a very complex, very essential amino acid profile that we're not always going to get a complete example of in the foods that we eat, unless you are strict carnivores. You typically will get that with beef, not with other meats, but with beef specifically. So what we're looking for here is a clean protein powder that is 100% whey. That's extremely important for us, and is going to have a full amino acid profile. Is also going to be, if you can find it, from grass-fed cows. And you're going to look for something that is 100% derived from animal product, not soy. Soy is a humongous testosterone disruptor in males, specifically prepubescent males, but even though we're talking about age 40, this one is extremely important for us as well. We're going to try to hit somewhere around 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. We are not talking about losing weight here. We are talking about maintaining muscle that we currently have, and we are talking about elevating testosterone levels to high normal. So we're going to aim for that. The 1 to 1.5 pounds per body weight. I'm not sure if I clarified that or not. Number 2 is creatine. I'm not sure if we can find a more essential chemical overall that is important to us after the age of 40 than creatine. Creatine is absolutely crucial for muscle growth, muscle stimulation, performance, and stability. Creatine is going to be essential for heart health, and I will tell you there are new studies that are coming out that even impact both males and females with cognitive brain function. We have found that it does absorb into brain tissue. And so what I will tell you with this one is to find a very good clean creatine monohydrate. I use Thorne, the brand Thorne. It's ordered off of Amazon. And I will tell you that you should shoot for a minimum of 5 grams per day. I get the unflavored, usually put it in my protein shake. Sometimes I will, even if it's a hard workout day, I will shoot for 10 grams of creatine a day. This is absolutely essential here. Next on the list is one that has become a little controversial probably over the last 5 years, and that is omega-3 fatty acids. You know, used to, we advertised it with your fish oil and how it was heart health and that's a bunch of crap now. We've found that that's long-term studies show that's not really the case for heart health. However, the reason why it's on the list and the reason why I still do believe in omega-3s is because of the anti-inflammatory properties and the ability to recover. So omega-3s are pretty essential for that. So recovering from a hard workout and helping, lessen, let's say, the lactic acid buildup is why omega-3s are on this list. So that one is pretty important too. Not going to have a recommended daily allowance on that. Picking up any omega-3 in the store is great. Otherwise, you're going to find that in your red meat as well if you are eating quite a bit of red meat. Next is vitamin D, and I say vitamin D here again, not because males need this in their bones. We typically have a very stable atmosphere in our bodies to maintain blood chemistry levels of normal vitamin D for bone health. We need our vitamin D for testosterone and the chemical processes that are required to produce healthy testosterone. So again, after the age of 40, vitamin D becomes essential. Typically, what I would tell you on this one is doing a blood test first so that you could try to figure out if you have a normal vitamin D level. Otherwise, red meat will help you with that. Also, getting out and getting some sunshine. It only requires 30 minutes of sunshine a day. Direct sunlight doesn't mean you're tanning with the shirt off, but 30 minutes of normal sunshine will do that as well. Otherwise, any vitamin D supplement is going to be okay. There's some effects that happen in the GI system if you have too much vitamin D by supplementation. So that's why I'd say normal sunshine and some red meat are going to be the only things that men will need over the age of 40 to maintain normal vitamin D levels. Up next are 2 absolutely crucial vitamins and minerals that we need. Zinc, magnesium, zinc for men. Highly crucial here. Again, thinking about testosterone, normal levels, increased levels. There's nothing wrong with too much testosterone naturally being produced in a male. I'm not talking about trying to do hormone replacement therapy or doing anything that's artificial as far as testosterone. But zinc and magnesium are going to help you in a number of ways. We can talk about sleep quality. Sleep quality is going to improve with zinc and magnesium. But recovery, lack of soreness, helping with that lactic acid being flushed out of muscle tissue is essential. And then again, zinc is going to help with normal testosterone levels, maintaining, producing, and elevating low testosterone levels. It is absolutely essential. MAG is as well. And again, this one is another section where we can cross over genders and talk female health. Zinc and magnesium are absolutely essential for females as well in different areas. So you've got to pick these two up. You can find these two typically again in pill form. I won't go through. Magnesium is weird. Depending upon what you want your magnesium to do will depend upon how much you're supposed to be taking. So I'm not going to give you an RDA for that. What I would tell you is to do your own research, because again, this will be a little gender specific too. You can actually have mood stabilizing that occurs with a certain level of magnesium. So magnesium is absolutely important, and zinc is absolutely important for men. I would just tell you, pick up the combo or do your own little research as to what effects you want versus how much you should be taking daily. This one's kind of a new one. This one has had quite a few studies done in sports physiology and in men's health in recent years, and that is ashwagandha. This is a naturally occurring root that is found in nature that has been used for years in many hunter-gatherer tribes. It has been studied in Far East Asia and has come to the US over the last decade and been found in supplements that claim to help men boost testosterone levels. And right now, that is in fact what it is shown to do. It is an adaptogen, so we are able to take this, even though it is a root and found most likely as a powder, to be able to use it to affect stress. And so that's what you need to realize. Over 40, again, one of these big hormone displacers is going to be stress, raising cortisol levels. And when the cortisol levels raise, of course, that includes lowering metabolic rate, lowering the amount of testosterone made, and upping fat deposition, because stress back in ancestral days meant that there was threat to life. So we were going to have to hide in a cave and be able to use and pack on as much fat as possible in the worries that we might have to go days without food. So ashwagandha has now been shown to reduce stress levels, which is also going to allow us to use the ashwagandha to make some precursors for normal to high testosterone levels. Absolutely crucial one here. You're going to find these in almost every test booster if you were to do just a generic search on Amazon or Google. The one that I like to use is, and I'll show you guys, I'm just kind of sitting in my parking lot right now, but I'll show you when I get upstairs to the house. I use one by a brand called Roman. Roman has been created by physicians and has a male testosterone booster tablet. And those tablets have the MAG, have the zinc, and especially the ashwagandha. I believe it has some vitamin D in it as well. So you can find some combos that will give you the majority of what you and I are talking about on this video today. All right, so I came back upstairs. I told you I would show you this one. For me, this is the best overall with everything we've been talking about this morning. This one can be found on Amazon, but if you look at the supplements, I just told you about vitamin D and MAG and zinc. There's your ashwagandha as well. I don't have maca on the list because there's not enough research to support that yet to put it on here. But otherwise, this one is the closest I can find without having to buy individual supplements with what we've been talking about this morning. All right, up next, let's talk about some exercises. All right, I'm back. I'm all showered up. I've got my green tea here, and we're going to discuss perfect exercises that change when it comes to muscle building over 40. The first thing I want to mention is to make sure we are doing compound lifts. If you look statistically at the biggest muscle groups that take the most testosterone to build, we are talking about squats and deadlifts first. That have to be your priorities going into the gym. Third is going to be a bench press. Fourth is going to be your rowing machine. So these 4 exercises, if you are building workouts, you have to start with those. I would alternate days. That's what I do. I spend half of my week doing squats, front and back, half of mine doing deadlifts. Bench is going to be every day that I work out, some sort of chest exercise, and rowing will as well. So incorporating those 4 forces the most release of testosterone at any given time during a workout. Second, we've got to talk about strength over volume. We don't have to spend 3 hours in the gym anymore. We don't have to do 15, 20 exercises anymore. We don't have to do 15 to 20 reps anymore. What you're trying to do is only go 6 to 8 reps at a time, because you're trying to pack on the most weight with whatever exercise that you are specifically doing. So you're thinking every time you're going into the gym now of maxing out, and that was not a thing back when I was younger. The old science was you only want to max out once a week and then maintain throughout the rest of the week. Not the case when we're over 40, okay? 6 to 8 reps, that's going to give you growth more over time without overdoing it, okay? Third, we've got to look at leg and core work. Now, we've already talked about deadlifts and squats, so we've got a big group of the leg, lower back work. We have not talked about core work yet, so we're going to have to incorporate some lunge work in there, and we're going to have to do different, I'm not going to recommend any type of ab workout. That's entirely up to you. Studies are absolutely all over the place to tell you what to do and when to do it. The majority of studies you can find say you can work abs every single day. Abs are the only muscle group you can work every day, because every time you stand up, every time that you're keeping your organs inside, your abs are working. Others will tell you to only do it once a week, so that's all over the place. But with the squats, we need to add lunges in, because that's going to be important again for the biochemical process of testosterone to come out during a workout. All right, one last thing. When you're looking at cardio days, the days of assuming that you can build leg muscles by running, or spending, let's say, hours, I guess, on the treadmill or on the elliptical, these exercises are not created equal when it comes to cardio. If you look now at the studies, they want you to incorporate these HIIT workouts, these high intensity interval training, which means those muscle groups we were talking about before also need to be incorporated with a little bit of cardio. As in, so for me, I will start my workout days with 10 minutes of something cardio related. It doesn't matter what. It might be the stair climber one day. It might be the treadmill at a threshold level of, pushing myself. And it may be not the elliptical, but the arc trainer. There are also days that it is just 10 minutes of rowing before getting started. Also, the key here is to realize you want that heart rate up when you start lifting heavy weight. Typically you can maintain that, but not if you start, let's use the word cold, even though that's not really a thing anymore. Muscle groups aren't ever really cold, but that was one of those things years ago. We were told that you had to stretch and do all this dynamic stuff before lifting. However, studies have shown that getting the heart rate up first before lifting heavy is actually more beneficial, and it gives you more fat burn over the course of the day rather than dipping out if you were to just do cardio, which typically happens after about 90 minutes of coming back down to a resting heart rate. So gone are the days of long just cardio days. We've got to do both things here multiple days a week. With the HIIT workout, 15 to 20 minutes is absolutely okay. No need to get over that. There are also times where I will set up maybe, let's say 10, typically it's 10 exercises that I'll rotate through. And 1 or 2 of those 10 are to go I don't know, 0.25 miles on the treadmill. So just a lap around the track, if you will. Or go and pull on that rowing machine for 2 minutes as hard as you can to incorporate that into the routine. Now that will be a little bit longer than 15 minutes, but if you count that up cumulatively over the course of the workout day, you'll probably hit somewhere around the 20-minute mark. So you're looking for an overall workout of about 90 minutes. And if you see all of this Hive fitness, these group fitness classes now that are out, same with your CrossFit classes, your F45s, your Hydrox workouts, your Orange Theories, all of that hits around 75 to 90 minutes. So we know enough about the science behind the physiology to kind of cap it at that, especially for guys over the age of 40. Lastly, and I will be brief on this, is rest and recovery. We've talked a little bit about rest before with the magnesium, but the recovery part is essential as well. There are times, depending on feel, and that's how I kind of gauge workouts now, there are times when I will wait a maximum of 48 hours to work a big bulk of the same muscle groups. And then there are other times that I will work the same muscle group 2 days in a row. And I'm doing it based on feel. I'm not going out and attempting to try to tear a muscle or try to, pull a ligament or a tendon. That's not the goal here. The goal is to get up every morning after your 7.5, 8 hours, maybe even 9 hours of sleep the night before, and being able to gauge on that body what that body can do, and then going to the workout with not a whole lot of goal in mind. There are times that on the way to the gym, I will rewrite the workout in my head or decide I don't want to do something and add in something else once I get there. You have to be able to adapt, but you're adapting to how the body feels, not whether or not, a machine is being worked or somebody's got the weights that you want, right? So rest and recovery is absolutely important here, and that comes along with good nutrition as well. All right, let's move on to our last little category. That's going to be lifestyle changes we can make to boost normal testosterone. So, we already talked about sleep. Sleep will absolutely allow testosterone to grow. If you said, Michael, tell me what time of day I need to be getting up and getting out to the gym, there are reasons why you see me, just like you did this morning, around 5:15. Statistically, we know that growth hormone, which is going to help you with testosterone levels, growth hormone is at its peak at around 5:30 a.m. your time, which means your butt needs to be in the gym and ready to go between 5:30 and 6. Because the rest of the day, it's going to drop. So that is peak muscle growing time. You will also have accumulated an excess of testosterone overnight. So those two chemicals are absolutely going to be crucial for good workouts when you go to the gym if you're heading in around 5:30 in the morning. The only way you can do that is to get quality sleep. Second, manage stress. This one's a toughie, and I know this one's a toughie for everybody, right? We have to be able to limit cortisol. Cortisol is going to be a big, I don't know if I would use the strong word inhibitor, but it absolutely counteracts testosterone. So we have to be able to do things like deep breath work, meditation. We have to be able to get out and not hit that 2:30 slump by taking a little walk, getting out into sunshine like we've talked about before, but also the biggest contributor is your food. Cortisol levels will drop tremendously if you clean the diet up, get off the processed foods, get onto more natural foods, and attempt to try to eliminate those seed oils in your life. So you didn't hear me say to throw carbs out, that's a separate discussion. But if we do these things, you're going to see a big drop in cortisol levels. I would tell you now, and for me it's probably been close to a decade, avoiding excess alcohol is a very key determining factor in testosterone levels, especially over the age of 40. It will negatively affect testosterone levels. It absolutely will. If you are trying to build muscle, you are working against yourself with alcohol intake. Doesn't matter how much. It does not matter how much over the age of 40. So you have to try to slow that down. Okay, so I would kind of roll all of this up to tell you that, at 40, I don't know how many of you might be new to working out or having a structured regimen of all of these things we've talked about. But I would tell you it is key here, I think, just like we've talked before, to celebrate the little wins. And January is a great time to start that. That's why all of your gyms will have specials running at the beginning of the year. But to plan this out, to remember focusing on a few small things can impact you in a very big way if we're doing it the right way over the age of 40. So, the right supplements, the right amount of sleep, the right compound exercises, and trying to manage the lifestyle, and I mean stress here, again, are going to help you start to achieve what you want to achieve in the gym and in life, because testosterone has many, many key things that you need to normally function. You also have to remember here, guys, if we're looking at male human anatomy, there are structural keys in the male anatomy. I'm thinking about BPH and prostate exams starting at the age of 40, having that recommended. That's a separate video that I would love to go into and tell you to avoid. But you have to understand that all of the workings down there, a lot of it is required by testosterone to guide and to keep stable and in normal levels, within normal ranges. So I want you to kind of remember that. So now, no matter what your age, muscle growth is possible. I'm not going to tell you you're going to pack on 1.5 pounds every 30 days. That is not really achievable for anyone that doesn't want to take anything fake. And I'll kind of stop at that. But I will tell you it is absolutely achievable to get lean and to get strong over the age of 40. So that's my little spiel. Again, this was part 3 of Food as Medicine. Can we do it over 40? Yes, we absolutely can build muscle over 40. And this kind of incorporates the other 2 and what will be a 4th in this series. So thank you again for joining. If you have any questions, concerns, opinions, questions for me that you would like to see maybe in future videos, please let me know down below. Otherwise, as always, I will see you again soon in another video. Thank you very much for joining.